get a chance to say what I needed to say before we sing the hymn. And that is, we have a Pennies for Christ mission offering that we're taking this whole month during our first hymn. Pennies for Christ, you can read about it in your bulletin, but it is how we help members of this community when they are in need. And we have a wonderful taker of the offering. She is standing right here, and she's been so lonely for the last few minutes. So let's sing the first verse. Let's sing again, and I invite you to be generous as you give of this.
Out of touch.
Our opening prayer is a prayer about how God works with us all the time and with us all the time. And we're going to frame this spoken prayer with a sung prayer. You'll probably know the tune. It's a tune that is in our hymn book, and it's the Gift of Love. But we're going to sing it with the words that you'll find on the screen or in your bulletin. So listen as it is sung, and then just come into it as you are familiar with it. We'll sing it at the beginning, right now, and then we'll sing it again after the spoken prayer. Let's try it. Inviting lovers to embrace and offering light to those who travel through the night with gifts like water, merging matter and spirit. Each day, welcoming God, you forgive all travelers. Every day you live and let live. Every day you love and love and love and love. With gifts like water, merging matter and spirit. Remind us, O guide for weary journeys. Remind us of what it means to be your image, to really be your image. For we are each gifts like water, merging matter and spirit. Come, Spirit, come and fill our souls. Joys and fears. Our scripture today comes from Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. I'll be reading from the Message. I invite you to stand out of respect and as you are able for the reading of the Gospel. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, a band of scholars arrived in Jerusalem from the east. They asked around, where can we find and pay homage to the newborn King of the Jews? We observed a star in the eastern sky that signaled his birth. We're on a pilgrimage to worship him. When word of their inquiry got out to King Herod, he was terrified. And not Herod alone, but most of Jerusalem as well. Herod lost no time. He gathered all the high priests and religion scholars in the city together and asked, where is the Messiah supposed to be born? They told him, Bethlehem, Judah territory. The prophet Micah wrote it plainly. It's you, Bethlehem, in Judah's land, no longer bringing up the rear. For from you will come the leader who will shepherd my people, my Israel. Herod then arranged a secret meeting with the scholars from the east. Pretending to be as devout as they were, he got them to tell him exactly when the birth announcement star appeared. And then he told them the prophecy about Bethlehem and said, go find this child. Leave no stone unturned. As soon as you find him, send word, and I will join you at once in your worship. Instructed by the king, they set off. Then the star appeared again, the same star they had seen in the eastern skies. It led them on until it hovered over the place of the child. They could hardly contain themselves. They were in the right place. They had arrived at the right time. They entered the house and saw the child in the arms of Mary, his mother. Overcome, they kneeled and worshipped him. And then they presented gifts: gold, frankincense, myrrh. In a dream, they were warned not to report back to Herod, and so they worked out another route, left the territory without being seen, and returned to their own country. A word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
Let's sing. It is a pleasure to be back in your midst. Christina and I took last weekend, and we were in Charleston, down at a bed and breakfast in a 250-year-old place, and maybe it's older than that. It was wonderful. We had such a great time. I also know you had a wonderful time, and I want to thank Reverend Matt Nevels for preaching, taking the service, and the old lady talking about pilgrimage. What is a pilgrimage? Pilgrimage is a long tradition in the church. And in fact, within all faiths, the major faiths of the world, there is a tradition of pilgrimages. Have you ever thought about being on a pilgrimage? In Behold Your Life, Macrina Wilderkopf, I think I'm close to how she pronounces that, writes this wonderful definition of pilgrimage. Hear this. A pilgrimage is a ritual journey with a hallowed purpose. Every step along the way has meaning. The pilgrim knows that life-giving challenges will emerge. A pilgrimage is not a vacation. It is a transformational journey during which significant change takes place. New insights are given, deeper understandings are attained, new and old places in the heart are visited, blessings are received, and healing takes place. On return from the pilgrimage, life is seen with different eyes, and nothing will ever be the same again. Have you ever been on a pilgrimage? Have you ever taken an intentional journey in order to be transformed by what and who you meet on the road?
Yes.
Might the practice of pilgrimage be good for you in 2015? Matthew's people, in the Gospel according to Matthew, everybody can be said to be on pilgrimage. Certainly the wise men are, following their star, seeking to see what no one else even recognizes. Not only do they seek, they find. And they leave gifts of themselves behind. The journey is dangerous. Not just the desert part of the journey, the wilderness part, but the human part. The powers that be, represented by King Herod, are very frightening. Yet they make the journey, and they make it well. Joseph and Mary are on a journey as well, are they not? Not only do they make their way to Bethlehem and give birth to baby Jesus, but they flee to Egypt to protect the life of that very same baby. That's the next few verses after where I stopped reading. Were they transformed by their journey? We don't know, but how could they not be? Life is dangerous, and the powers that be more often than not have agendas that are not of God and must be avoided at least and fought if necessary. Jesus is also on an intentional journey in Matthew's Gospel. He travels from birth to baptism to calling disciples to confronting demons and authorities not of God's desire to walking the road up to Jerusalem and Gethsemane and trial and execution. Jesus, like Mary and Joseph and the wise men, is on a pilgrimage, just like others in the gospel, such as the disciples, the blind men, the lame, the father who was worried sick about a daughter, the woman who was healed after her 12-year-long bleeding, lepers, even the scribes and Pharisees, and even Pilate are all on journeys, some more intentional than others, to meet the Holy One named Jesus, and through him meet the God Jesus reveals. I ask you this morning, is this not your desire? To meet Jesus, and through him, the God that Jesus reveals? If so, how is your journey going? Might you be more intentional pilgrimage year. If you were to do that, what would be different about the ways that you go to bed? About how you get up in the morning? About how you take your meals? How you greet people along the way? How you pay attention? Would you be in church more? Would you pray more? Would you be more generous? Would you pay attention to the little things more? My own personal pilgrimage is very simple. I have been moving from selfish all the time to selfish some of the time. From generous only occasionally when somebody batted me across the head and I paid attention, to generous as often as possible. At least that is my goal for my pilgrimage. How is that transformation taking place in me? 3 things that I thought of. One is that I practice centering prayer. And I'm going to do classes in centering prayer down the road. I don't know when yet. But centering prayer is my way for asking the questions of God and listening. I think our prayer lives are too noisy and busy. We keep telling God what to do. And centering prayer is about listening. It's a practice of discipline, age-old. And that's one of the things I use to try to get out of myself. And tithing. Do you ever think of tithing as a spiritual discipline? I hate to tithe. Because I can think about the money, where it could go, and how I could use it much better. And yet, do you know, I've been able to survive giving 10% away. And it's taught me to trust that there is enough. It's one of the ways that I have been taught. And the third thing I mentioned to you is preaching. I think somehow we have to have a daily or weekly pattern of remembering why we're here. For me, it's preaching. Because I have to come before you and try to speak truth. But it might be journaling. It might be some reflective piece in your life where you just stop and ask, where is God today in my life? Those are the 3 things for me that have helped me in my journey from selfish all the time to selfish.